Hello everyone, I hope you're having a happy Thursday. Today is April 23rd. We are looking at day 16 in our packet, so we're going to walk through that today. And the first thing that we are starting with is reading and module. So we're starting with reading and module today. And the first thing I want you to do is grab your packet or pull your packet up online, and you are going to look at pages 15 and 16. There should be a book called Terrific Tree Houses. And you are going to follow along and listen to Terrific Tree Houses as you watch the video that's in the description below. So you're going to go ahead and click on that module video. And as you listen, you're going to hear the story Terrific Tree Houses. So go ahead and have page 15 and 16 ready when you turn on that video so that you can follow along. After you've watched that whole module video and listened to the story Terrific Tree Houses, you're going to flip to page 19 in your packet. It looks just like this. There's a big open square for you to sketch in. And you are going to think about how the people in the story were enjoying trees, and how is this the same or different from the way that Amy enjoyed trees on those pages 10 and 11 in your packet. So remember back when we read that story, Make a Tree Friend. We read it a couple of times, so you should remember what it talked about. If you want a refresher, look back on page 10 and 11, and you are going to see what is the same and different between what you just read in Terrific Tree Houses and how people enjoy those trees, and how Amy enjoyed the trees in that story, Make a Tree Friend. So I want you to discuss that with either a sibling or a parent, and you're going to talk about those things that are the same and different. After you've done that on page 19, you're coming back to look at that open square, and you are going to sketch, if you could make any tree house, what would it look like? So you're gonna draw your tree house right in here. And I want you to make sure that you're labeling on your tree house and you're showing super high quality work. Remember, high quality work is when you put your time into your work. You think about it before you draw something. Remember, you can draw like a draft or something like that if you don't want to do your first drawing on here. So you're thinking about it, you're making sure that you're labeling your picture, and you're taking your time so that it looks super neat, and I can tell that you did high quality work. Okay, it's time for word work. So the first thing I want you to do is, in your packet, go ahead and flip to page 21. 21, that is the last page in your packet. And we are going to look at the text, Chip Can't Nap. And we're going to read it together 2 times. The first time that we read it, we're going to point. So I want you to point with me to your text as we read. And the second time, I'm going to read it with expression. So I want you to follow along. Go ahead and flip to page 21 in your packet, and we're going to go ahead and read. All right, get your pointer power ready. We're going to point to those words as we read, Chip can't nap. Chip has a bed by the shop. Thud, bash, the cab will not hush. Chip cannot nap. Chip will dash to the van. The van is shut. Will Chip get a nap? All right, we're going to read this text again, but as we read it this time, I'm going to read with expression. Chip can't nap. Chip has a bed by the shop. Thud, bash, the cab will not hush. Chip cannot nap. Chip will dash to the van. The van is shut. Will Chip get a nap? Now that we've read Chip Can't Nap, we're going to look at those words on page 21, that same page we were looking at. You're going to find your cycle 19 words on this list right here. And we are going to rainbow write those words. So you're going to take your different colors, either pens, pencils, or crayons, whatever you're using, and you are going to rainbow write each of those words in cycle 19. Before you get started on that, if you want to change it up a little bit, maybe you feel like you've written in rainbow colors a lot, you can try to do either fancy writing. So you can take all those words and write them in really fancy letters, or you could even bubble write your letters, whatever sounds fun to you. And if you also want to try typing those words out on a keyboard or on a laptop, feel free to do that, but you're practicing all of your words in the cycle 19 list. Okay, we're moving into math time now, and for math, today is day 16. So we're looking at the number 16 today. But before we jump into that, make sure you are practicing your counting. So you want to count from 1 to 100 by ones, and then you're also going to count to 1 to 100 by tens. And when you do this, try to think of different ways that you can count. So maybe you want to do jumping jacks, maybe you want to do sit-ups, or something where you're crossing the midline. You can pick how you want to do it, change it up if you want to, but I would love to see some videos. So if you get a chance, video counting to 100 and send it in Dojo. And since it is day 16 today, we are going to look at that page 5 and 6 of your packet that I'm sure by now is super familiar. We've got page 5 and then our 10 frames on page 6. And we are filling in this, well, page 7 actually would be your day 16 10 frame. And we are filling this in for the number 16. So you're doing all of that with the number 16. After you've done that, you're gonna take those 10 frame cards that you have that were on page 8 of that packet, and you are going to do your fluency game. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. So you can take those 10 frames and you can separate them between you and some friends or siblings or parents, and you're going to play Go Fish, or you could play Memory if you wanted to set all of those 10 frames out face down and try to match them. So you can think of different ways that you can use these 10 frames as long as you're practicing how many more until 10. So make sure you're practicing that with those 10 frames, but feel free to switch it up so you're not doing the same thing every single day. We're now moving into social studies. This is our last subject of the day. And for social studies today, we are looking at positional words. So I know we talked about this back when we were in the classroom a little bit about positional words, but I'm going to show you what those look like in just a minute. But first, I want you to click that Jack Hartman link down in the description, and you are going to watch the Jack Hartman video on positional words. So now what you're going to do, since we've watched the video on positional words, you are going to find something that you can use from around your house. So I found this little bird. You can find maybe a stuffed animal or anything that you want to use, a ball, whatever you want to pick from your house. You're going to grab an object, and we are going to go into my living room to do the next part. All right, so you should have an object from around your house, whatever you picked out to use, and you're going to find a room in your house. So I'm in my living room, and what I'm going to do is place this bird right here. And I'm going to tell an adult where my bird is using those positional words that we just went through. So I could say, the bird is in front of the fireplace. Then if I wanted to move my bird, I could place it up here. And I could say, the bird is on top of the fireplace. So you are going to do this with an object in any room of your house that you want, and you're going to tell an adult where that object is located using your positional words. And I want you to do this 5 different times. So pick 5 different positions. You could do on top of, below, beside, whatever ones you want to do. So the very last thing we're looking at today is still with our positional words, and you are going to draw me a picture to show your understanding of those words. So I've got an example for you. I decided to draw a picture of a cat, and my cat is sitting beside a bowl of food. So I drew my picture to show that positional word, and then you're going to write a sentence to make sense of that drawing. So my sentence says, the cat is beside the bowl. So I have my picture and my sentence to match, and that's the very last thing that we are doing for today. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.